Genius, but he was sending his best friend to text because he was, his English was not that good, and being a Ndebele girl and he was Shona, we couldn't really communicate in the native language. So hence his friend had to do that. I mean, imagine all the years the friend was communicating with me, yet I thought I was communicating with him. So I was literally in a relationship with both of them. But anyway, we then started dating, I think 2009. And look, the age, he always said to me, age is nothing but a number. And I think the first 2 years were a challenge, but I ended up accepting it, that look, he's younger than me, that is what he wants, that is what I wanted. And we started dating. We had a very good relationship. I think the basis of our relationship was friendship, because we're more of friends more than anything else. Everything else was added on, but we're closer and tighter as friends than the actual relationship, which is why even when we went our separate ways in 2018, we still remained very close friends, and people never understood why we're still friends. Some others were saying they broke up, others were saying they didn't break up, others were saying we're together. We remained friends till the last day.
Okay, so Zodwa, when that phone call came on Sunday, early Sunday of the 8th of November, 2020, I know it's difficult to ask this, but how did you feel?
You know what? When the phone call came, I didn't believe. I was called by Remo, I think, as he got to the accident scene. He called, said, Zodwa, Genius has been involved in a car accident. And I said, what? Normally when I sleep, I put my phone on silent. But that particular night, for one reason or the other, my phone was not on silent. He had called me around 1 a.m. in the morning because Genius, when he went to the club, he would call at any time because he wanted everyone to club with him. But I was not one of those girls that loved clubbing. And also, I've outgrown that life. So I wouldn't go clubbing. He would call, come, let's do this. He would phone. So he phoned me at 1 in the morning, that particular Sunday. And he was just asking stupid questions, Genius being Genius. And then when Remo called me, I couldn't believe it. He says, Genius has had an accident, and he just started crying. And I said, is Genius okay? He said, no, Genius is dead. Where are you? I'm on Borodale Road. He couldn't tell me which part of Borodale Road. I didn't know what to do. I just jumped out of bed, went out of my room. I told my kids. My eldest daughter just started throwing up. The younger one started vomiting as well. I didn't know what was going on. I went downstairs wearing my pajamas, got into the car. I realized I was wearing pajamas. I went back up. I changed. I tried to drive. I couldn't drive. I had to ask my driver. Fortunately, my driver was at home. Like, look, can you drive me? Genius has just had a car accident. I told everyone else. His aunt was at my house that weekend, and one of his younger brother's wives was also at my house that same day. So I just told them, and then I just drove off. I went to the accident scene. When I got there, I couldn't believe. I thought maybe he was going to wake up. I got there. I tried to go to his body. He was lifeless. They'd covered him with leaves. It was, I don't wish that on anybody. I don't wish that on anybody. The other people that died with him, it was painful to hear the screams and people. I got there literally, I think less than about 10-15 minutes after the accident had happened. It was painful. It still is painful. It's really difficult for us all. The family is very difficult. Genius was very close to me. We were quite close to each other. People, like they say, they would never understand the relationship I had with Genius. No one can ever understand that. Up to the day of his death, the previous weekend before he died, I went for a function in his area. And then after the function, I decided, let me go and see Genius. I've not seen him in a while. I think I've not seen him in a week or so. I went there on a Saturday. I go to his house. Usually, I would never just go to his house. Just like would just not come to mine. We would phone each other. Are you okay? Are you free? Can I come through? I would go and visit him. So that Saturday, I just went to visit him. He was shocked to see me by his gate. I said, no, it's okay. I've just come to see you, check if you're okay. It's been a while. He got there, I think it was around 3-4 in the afternoon. I spent literally the whole afternoon into the night around 11, 12. Then I came back home. He was now going to the club. That's actually the last time I saw Genius. It's like I went there to say goodbye. I have no regrets. At least I got to spend some time with him. I spent a good 4, 5, 6 hours with him. We had dinner. And then he went to the club. Then I went home. And fine, I spoke to Genius. He's one of those people that every day of my life, after my exercise, 6 a.m., I'm done. First person I call is Genius. If I didn't call him by 6:30, he would call. Wang, Deipi, are you okay? Is everything okay? What's going on today? That was Genius for you. We had a very good relationship. We understood each other. I don't think there will be anyone that I can ever, or any friend or male friend that can get me the way Genius got me. Genius understood me that even before I lied to him about anything, he said, Wang, you are lying to me. Why are you saying that? I know you are lying. He knew me very well. He read me like a book. That's Genius for you. But God's time, always God's time. He took him when we're not expecting. He's the least people. I remember when I was still staying with him in Lomboshawa, he used to say, this is where I want you to be buried. This is where we are going to be buried. And he always believed I was going to die before him. I think maybe because of the age difference. He always thought I was going to die before him. But unfortunately, he went before me. And I have got no regrets. He was a good man. We shared what we shared. And I would do it over again.
So Zodwa, were you really married to Ginimbi?
Well, on the time of his death, we were divorced. We were no longer living together. We got engaged. He paid his bride price. We never had a white wedding, but traditionally, yes.
Okay, and how was your separation like? Was your separation amicable?
It was very amicable. That's why, I mean, if it was rough, I'm sure you guys, you know social media in Zimbabwe. People don't talk. They still said so much rubbish. We agreed to disagree. I was not happy. He didn't want me to leave. But for some reasons, best known that I cannot share publicly, I mean, he's not here to defend himself. So even if I said what we agreed or what we did not agree, he's not here to defend himself. So I would rather not talk about them. We agreed with Genius. We went our separate ways, but we remained, which is why we remained friends. He came to my house whenever he wanted. He had a very good relationship with my kids. Sometimes I would come home, I would find him having lunch or having dinner with the girls. They loved him to bits, especially the younger girl. My younger girl, Melissa, was, I think, 5 years when I started dating Genius. So literally, Genius is the father that she knew, is the father that brought her, which is why she calls her dad. You know, being a father to somebody doesn't mean you're a biological father. You can be a father because you've raised the child up. Genius raised Musi up for me. He was there when Musi was a baby until now she's 19 years of age. And the only father that she really know is Genius. Fine, she has a biological dad who is in England, but Genius was always there. Genius knows Musi, even precious more than their biological father. I know many people say the biological father is dead. He's not. He's alive. He's in England there. He's there in England. He did not pass away. He is much alive.
Okay, Zodwa, I mean, we all knew Ginimbi as a playboy. I mean, that is something. I mean, for his age, he was still growing up. He's someone who really wanted to have fun. How did you deal with his many girlfriends?
To be honest with you, I never met one girl of Genius. I heard he had girlfriends. People told me, we've seen him with this one, we've seen him that. He had too much respect for me. He would never bring the girlfriends in front of me. He would never flaunt them in front of me. If I met up with him with a girl, the girl was either Kitty's or Brian's or Dino's or Rimo's. It was never his girlfriend. And the girlfriends, I don't know whether I can say it's stupid of them, because I would never allow my men to introduce me to their woman as somebody else's girlfriend. I would never allow that. But for them, they did. They allowed that to happen. Even when I separated with Genius, if anytime I went to his house, if there were girls there, they would be sneaked out. He would hide them. I would never allow that to happen. So with me, he never showed me that side of him. I knew he was a player, but I never caught him red-handed. That I knew that my man, I need to have a strong heart. I was supposed to have a strong heart. I had a strong heart. Genius played. He enjoyed playing. He enjoyed partying. He enjoyed his life. I'm sure he actually has no regrets because there's nothing he did not do under this earth. There is nothing, absolutely nothing that Genius did not do. He traveled the world. He played the most. He did everything that he wanted to do. But with Zodwa, Zodwa was always a wife. She must stay at home. The only place he would take me to is restaurants. We go and eat. That's all he did. Or we go to church together. That's all I was good for. He would tell me, you want to go clubbing? I only go to the club with bitches. Excuse the language. That's exactly what Genius would talk. So he went with the bitches to the club. The wife stayed at home. Those were his words.
Wow. Okay. Zodwa. So did you ever have like any girls calling you or stressing you that we are dating Ginimbi and stuff?
Never.
You know how girls act.
They never, no one ever called me. And I also never called them. I mean, I would never reduce myself to their levels. Never, ever. I'm a woman of very high status. I value my life so much. I value myself. I love myself. I would never reduce myself to the levels of the girls that he dated.
All right, Zodwa. And then there's an issue of